Once upon a time, in a small town, lived a man named Ravi who was always consumed by fear and anxiety about his future. He was convinced that nothing good would ever happen to him. Lost in his thoughts, he often wandered alone, keeping away from people. One day, while walking through a dense forest, Ravi came across a serene looking monk meditating under a large tree. Curious and desperate, Ravi approached the monk. "Why have you come to this forest, my son?" the monk asked. "Master, I am miserable. I believe my life will never improve, and I am terrified of what the future holds. I want to know what will happen tomorrow so I can prepare myself in advance for any misfortune." Ravi replied. His voice was trembling. The monk smiled kindly and handed him an old, mysterious newspaper. "This is not an ordinary newspaper. It will show you the news of tomorrow every day. Use it wisely," the monk said. Grateful and curious, Ravi hurried home with the newspaper. That evening, he opened it to read the news of the next day. To his amazement, it stated that he would win a lottery. Ravi, who had never won anything in his life, was skeptical but hopeful. The next day, he bought a ticket, and to his utter astonishment, he won the lottery. Overjoyed, he rushed home and read the paper again. This time, it foretold that he would become a great leader of a renowned political party. From that day forward, Ravi read the newspaper daily, and each time the events unfolded exactly as predicted. With each success, his life transformed. He gained wealth, power, luxury, and everything he had ever dreamed of. Ravi's days were filled with happiness, and he felt invincible. But one fateful night, as he opened the newspaper, he froze in shock. The headline read, "Tomorrow Ravi will meet his end." Fear gripped him. He spent the night in turmoil, unsure whether to cry or laugh. When morning came, he decided that he could outsmart fate. "If I don't leave my house today, nothing can harm me," he thought. Determined to avoid his fate, Ravi locked himself in his room and sat on his bed all day, refusing to move. Hours passed, and he began to feel relieved, thinking he evaded death. But just as the clock struck evening, the ceiling fan above him loosened and crashed down onto his head. Ravi died instantly, just as the newspaper had predicted. Here we can learn some things are better than unknown. The fear of the future can be more dangerous than the future itself. Life is uncertain, and trying to control every outcome often leads to unnecessary anxiety. Instead of being consumed by fear, one should live in the present and embrace life with courage and acceptance.